So today we are back with another monthly TBR video. So I have my TBR cart here. It's a little bit early. It's March 20th, so I still have a bit of time left on my March books. So I am still kind of working through some of those. I'm reading The Crash right now by Freida McFadden, and the next book that I want to pick up is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So this one's up here just because I haven't read it yet, but I'm hoping to get it done before the end of March, so that's just going to be right there. But no, if a prompt comes up that fits this one and I don't pick it, it's because I'm already planning on reading it. So that one's there, but we are going to jump into my TBR prompts. I have 3 books that I don't own yet that are newer releases that I'm hoping to pick up soon. I just haven't been book shopping recently, but I want to pick up The Sunrise on the Reaping that came out just a couple days ago when I'm filming this, and then I want to at some point read Emily Henry's new book, but that one comes out at the end of April, so that one might be more of like a May read. And then I pre-ordered Fearless by Lauren Roberts that will be here at the beginning of April. So I'm hoping to get that one on my TBR so that I can finish off that series. But those are ones that I'm just gonna keep in mind. I don't have too much else that I don't own that I would want to read. Maybe 2 Twisted Crowns because I read One Dark Window in March. But we'll just kind of see. Like I said, I don't own that one, but I'm planning on going book shopping in the middle of April. So there's a few books that I'm kind of thinking about picking up at that point. Just don't exactly know what yet. So I think I'm going to do the same as last month. I'm going to pick probably 6 prompts and go from there. And we're just going to see what we get. April is kind of the end of my semester for school. I have quite a bit of stuff due, and I have family visiting, so I feel like I don't have a ton of time to read. But I know May is going to be like so much time to read in May. So I'm going to keep it a little bit lighter in April, just keeping how busy I'm going to be in mind. So the first prompt is a free pick. I'm going to do the same as I did last month. I'm going to save this till the end just so that I can kind of pick based off what I've already selected. So prompt number 2 is this one. Booktube made me buy it. So one that's been really hyped up on Booktube. I feel like there's a few options for this one. I feel like I get a lot of my book recs from Booktube and Book Talk, so I'm just going to speed run through these and just kind of see which one sounds the most interesting to me. So the first one is The Inheritance Game. I read the first book years ago, and never continued the series. There was nothing wrong with it, I just didn't own the second book and just haven't worked my way back to it. So I feel like I want to reread the first one before continuing the series, so I'm just acting as though I haven't read this first one. The next one is The Grace Year. I saw Haley Pham talked about this, she read this, and that's why I bought it. I haven't really heard anyone else talk about it. It sounds kind of like dystopian. That's all I really know. But I feel like it reminds me of kind of like The Uglies, and I read that series in college. I don't know, I feel like this one just kind of gives similar vibes to that. So that's that one. The next one is a wildly popular one on all forms of social media, and that's Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I feel like I didn't necessarily want this book until I saw it on social media, because her Chestnut Springs series, I'd read the first 2 books I think when this one came out, and I thought they were just okay, but then everyone talked about how much they liked this series better. So I picked up this book, and now I want to read like all of these ones. The next one is another Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and that is All In. This is the 3rd book in the Natural series. Like, I've seen so many people on BookTube talk about this. I know Destiny's read it, Sarah Crowley's read it, Allie's read this one. Like, I feel like this one is just a very popular YA series, and it would be good to check off more off of a series that I've already, like, in the middle of. The next one is Faith, her favorite book on here. Like, she raves about this series constantly, and I feel like Rachel Catherine also talks about this series a bunch, and that's the Emily Wilde series. And I feel like this would be a perfect spring read, so I feel like this one is a top contender from this pile. Don't know much about it. I know it's kind of like a cozy fantasy, and I've just kind of been holding off until spring to read this, so might be going on the TBR. Next is The Prison Healer. I feel like this one had its moment for a little bit, and then kind of didn't hear too much about the rest of the books in the series, but I did hear about this one from social media. And then the last one was an OG Book Talk, booktube book, and that is The Cruel Prince. I haven't read this one yet. I know it's one of Haley Pham's favorite books of, like, all time, and I just don't really know much of what it's about. So I think my top contenders are either All In or Emily Wilde. And I think I'm going to go with Emily Wilde just because I've been holding off on this book for spring. So I feel like I have to make sure it gets on my TBR because I do really want to read this one this month. As much as it would be nice to finish a series that I'm in the middle of, I think I would rather have that book on my TBR. We'll see if I pull this one for another prompt. Right. The third prompt is over 500 pages. I feel like I don't have that many long books on my TBR right now, so we're gonna just have to kind of look. I don't think Fearless is gonna be over 500 pages, but maybe I'll look that one up. Let's see. I'm gonna look up and see how long Fearless is. So Fearless says it's 608 pages, so I think I'm gonna go with that one. The only other one I found on my cart was The King of Scars, and I'm just not feeling this one right now. I don't want to be starting that many new series right now. I would rather finish ones that I have. So I think I'm gonna go with Fearless. Like I said, I already have it pre-ordered, so technically I already own it. It's already on my TBR. So we're putting Mentally Fearless on my TBR. Number 4. Continue a series you're reading. I feel like this is perfect. I immediately want to grab All In just because I feel like it would be a nice little palette cleanser because I already have 2 fantasy books on here. And yeah, I feel like I know I'm in the middle of a lot more series. Some of them I just don't own, or maybe I'm not in as many as I think I am, but it's kind of the main one that I want to read. My options are this. I still haven't read Powerless by Elsie Silver, but I don't want to read that one. And the other ones that I have in my cart are ones where, like, they're either new series or I'd want to, like, reread the first one to get into them. I think I'm going to go with All In because I think this would be a good palette cleanser. Alright. Prompt number 5. I don't even know what I mean by that. Matches current series. I'm gonna put this one back in because I don't know what I meant when I wrote that, but I might understand. I'm not really in a series right now anyway, like I'm in the middle of a bunch. So we're just gonna redraw prompt number 5. Let's see what else we can. Random number generator. These ones are always tricky. So let's see how many books we actually have on here. I'm gonna count this as my Sunrise on the Reaping, so when I count it's just gonna be for that. Alright, I have 34 books on the cart here. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 34. So it picked 23, so I'm gonna count the same way as I did before. 23. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, these TBR videos just hate me, don't they? Eventually I'm gonna have to read it, and oh. It's not that I think it's gonna be bad, I'm not in the mood for it. It's not that I think it's gonna be bad, I'm just not really a huge romance reader, so I'm not really in the mood for it. And I don't love spice in my books. Like, it's fine if it's there, I don't care that much. Like, I'm not gonna not read a book because it has spice. The big thing is I'm just not a huge romance reader, so usually if I read romance, it's that I want like a super quick, light rom-com just to like palate cleanse between books. I have to do it. I have to put Powerless on my TBR again. For the 3rd month in a row. Oh. Let me recount, just to see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If only it was where it was supposed to be on the cart, right over here next to Heartless, but instead I put it over here because then I'd be reading Love in Other Words, which I feel like I also don't want to read. No matter what, I was going to get something on this romance shelf. Maybe this is my sign that I actually have to read it, because this wasn't even my choice. This was the world's choice that I needed to read this book. So prompt number 6. I'm gonna do 7 again because I have fun. Maybe 8, because why not? One of the books I don't own yet, so I feel like it's fair. So this is prompt number 6. And I still have my free pick at the end. Blue on the cover. Okay, I have some options here. For this one, I feel like I have enough books that have a significant amount of blue on them that I am going to force it to have to be more than just like an accent of blue. Like this, it's got to be a primarily blue cover. I feel like this is more green than it is blue. So again, I feel like this one's kind of more, like it's kind of blue, but it's kind of turquoisey green. I'm going to force myself to pick a more blue cover than that. So I feel like I have 4 options here. I have Funny Story by Emily Henry. I have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I have Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. And I've been kind of in the mood to reread some of my like old reads from when I was younger. So I also have The Lightning Thief on here that I feel like it might be like a spur of the moment right now kind of thing where I'm feeling like I want to read some of these ones. But I don't know, you can tell this was a very well loved book. I have never finished the series though. I've only made it through the first 3, and I think that's partially why I want to do this, is because I have so many series that I started when I was in like middle school that I read like the first book or the first 2 books and never continued them. So even though I hate this cover, I would love to have like the original cover. Like that could be a fun thing to do, and that could be a fun video. So I'm not sure if I want to put it on the TBR right now, or I think I'm going to hold off. And if you guys want to see a video of me like doing like a Percy Jackson reading vlog, let me know and I'll just film this like a full separate video at some point in time. So I think I'm gonna put it to the side for now. And I don't know, I really feel like even though, well, that comes out at the end of April. So I'm gonna read Funny Story by Emily Henry, because then I can read this book and then be more caught up on my Emily Henry books when her new book comes out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And I might want a nice, fun romance book. Not that Emily Henry's are usually all that fun, but a romance book after reading Fearless. Prompt number 7. I'd love maybe like another fantasy book on here. A popular read you haven't read yet. I feel like this is a good one. I feel like this is a very good one. Popular read I haven't read yet. I feel like there's 2, maybe 3 that are standing out to me. I feel like I want to pick a fantasy book for this. I don't know, I feel like the first ones that came to mind are these 3. We're gonna go with 5 books that I'm picking between. Wild Love by Elsie Silver, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, a like newer popular book that I feel like is starting to get some hype, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and Light Lark by Alex Astor. I don't know, I feel like I'm feeling one of these fantasy type books. I feel like I'm gonna save the romance. I like to read romance books a lot in summer, so maybe I will save those for a couple months from now. I'm just trying to think which one is calling out to me the most. I feel like I don't really know what The Cruel Prince is about, and it's not as popular right now, so I'm gonna not choose that one. I think I'm gonna pick between The Poppy War and Light Lark. I'm gonna go with The Poppy War because this is a completed series, so I could potentially like read this and get this checked off my TBR, because I think Light Lark still has books coming out. That's how I'm gonna make that decision. Alright, do I want to pick one more? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do 8 because I want to. Because I know I said I don't have that much time to read in April, but I don't stick to my TBRs anyway. I read whatever I want. I feel like I read still off of the TBR. I just don't ever read the full thing, and I'm okay with that. Let's see, what's the one that jumped out at me? New author to me. Why is my brain immediately going to Light Lark? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add Light Lark because I feel like this is just a good example for this, because I found this book because of the author's posts on social media, and I found it a long time ago. This is what I'm gonna go with. And then I have my free pick that I might choose Sunrise on the Reaping, or maybe a mystery book would be nice, because I don't have much of that on here. I have 2 fantasy, a cozy fantasy, 2 romance, and then that YA mystery. I'm gonna go with my free pick of being Sunrise on the Reaping, because then if I don't get a chance to finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by the end of March, in the next 10 days, then I'll just have this on my TBR instead, and it'll just kind of give me an extra month to get through this. I have my 8 books here, so to do a recap, working your way backwards, for my free pick, I chose technically Sunrise on the Reaping, but I haven't read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes yet. Hoping to get to it still at the end of this month, but it's kind of a 2-for-1. So then I have blue on the cover, and for that one I chose Funny Story. Looking at it, it's like a purpley blue, but I would still call this blue. so I'm going with it. And then over 500 pages is the one book that I don't physically own, and that is Fearless by Lauren Roberts, that comes out at the beginning of April. Popular read I haven't read yet is The Poppy War. I feel like this isn't super popular, but it's getting more popular, so I feel like now is a good time to read it. Continuing a series I'm already reading, All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the third book in the Natural series. The random number generator that is forcing me to read what's actually on my TBRs, Powerless by Elsie Silver. A booktube made me buy it, which is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And the last book was a new author to me, which is Lightlark by Alex Astor. So yeah, a nice selection here. A lot of options for if I don't want to read specific things, then I don't have to. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love doing all these TBR prompts. I think it's such a fun way to narrow down my TBR for the month from, you know, a full cart, which is becoming less and less full. So it might be time to fill this bad boy back up a little bit, but I shouldn't convince myself to do that yet. I should wait. And like I said, if you guys want to see like a specific reading vlog for any of these, like I think I might film one for the Lightlark series, I might film one for Poppy War series, and I want to film one for Percy Jackson whenever I get to that. If you guys want to see like dedicated series reading vlogs, definitely let me know in the comments below. Or if there's just any specific videos that you guys want to see, any challenges or any specific books that you want to see me read, any of these that you guys really enjoy, please let me know. And if you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!